Everyone is speaking out about this. Deuce McBride has been playing an unbelievable brand of basketball, and New York Knicks fans are calling for McBride to get a chance in the New York Knicks starting lineup and for Tom Thibodeau to make the change to create a starting lineup that would move most likely one of these two guys to the bench, and we're going to break all of it down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here. If you hear the sirens out there, that's because Knicks fans are fired up, 5-alarm fire, because Deuce McBride has been balling out, especially in the 3 games since the All-Star break, and he, when he's on the floor statistically, has been making the New York Knicks so much better of a team, specifically with Jalen Brunson, but really with everyone. And guys, I'm so excited to talk about Deuce McBride. I rarely get to do so. And if you guys are enjoying the content, make sure to subscribe. If you're part of that 69% that's not subscribed to Knicks Digest and you want daily content like this is the place to be for all Knicks news. We have a bunch of videos coming out. This one right now, we might have another one today, and we might have a lot more after the New York Knicks Philadelphia 76ers game as well. So make sure to stay tuned. But guys, let's jump into this. Deuce McBride has been absolutely balling out this season, especially as of lately. He started 1 game this season. That was against the Chicago Bulls last week. And, well, he was great in the overtime game. I mean, hit 6 threes, went 6 for 12 from deep, went 9 for 19, and some of those shots were last second of the shot clock shots. He was just doing everything right. Had 3 steals, 3 blocks, a defensive stalwart as usual. He fits so well next to Jalen Brunson, and we saw Jalen Brunson have a great game next to Deuce McBride. These two work very well together. Deuce is better at being off the ball and can create a bit of a shot for himself as well. Meanwhile, Jalen Brunson gets his defense covered by Deuce McBride and also can help facilitate to another shooter, creating a full 5-out lineup if you have Jalen Brunson, Deuce McBride, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and Karl-Anthony Towns out there at once. A lineup that has been ferocious on the offensive end because of the elite top-tier spacing in the NBA. Now, Deuce has been doing an absolutely phenomenal job handling all this, and Knicks fans have taken notice, and they are calling for Deuce to be in the starting lineup. Now, Deuce spoke on the success that he's been having, and as mentioned by Deuce McBride, shout out to Ian Begley for this, he said, probably being out there longer has helped, honestly. I feel like I can make an impact in any way, on the defensive end, on the offensive end. I feel like I am just able to play 2 ways, and he's absolutely correct, and he's been having a great season, mainly off the bench for the New York Knicks, putting up 9 points, 2 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 2.5 rebounds and assists per game, while also getting almost 1 steal per game off the bench in minutes that have not been fully consistent. Now, at the same time, he's shooting 41% from the field and 37% from 3. His shooting's been well. His defense has been elite. Everything that there is to love about Deuce McBride has been doing this season, and it's paying off. I mean, the 6'2" guard can play well above his size, guarding guys who are up to like 6'6". No problem about it because he's a strong guy. He's great at ripping the ball away. He's so energetic. There's so many reasons why New York Knicks fans love Deuce McBride, and he might be the most loved player on the Knicks this year. You never hear anyone hating on Deuce. Now, obviously, that doesn't count a guy like Jalen Brunson because, well, it's Jalen Brunson. But out of all the New York Knicks role players, Deuce McBride has been a fan favorite this year, and rightfully so. The man's doing everything right. He's been the best player off the Knicks bench all season long, and without him, the Knicks would have the worst bench of any team that's even in the playoffs. Deuce has just been that much of an impact player for this team, and the numbers have backed that up as well. I mean, just looking at everything Deuce has done this season, it's really hard to not just see all the work that he's put in. I mean, Deuce McBride held Celtics players in the game against the Celtics to 3 for 13 from the field as the primary defender. On top of that, lowest opponent field goal percentage as the closest defender over the last 10 games. Rui Hachimura is number 1. Second is Deuce McBride. You then see another just group of names right there, most of whom are very good defenders. Rui, widely regarded as basketball's one of their worst defenders, so that's interesting. Maybe Rui's getting it together on the offensive end. Kyle Kuzma's been a solid defender. Draymond Green's a very good defender. Miles Bridges sucks as a human being. We're going to move on from that. Aaron Wiggins is a great defender. Goga Bitadze is a great defender. So Deuce is in some good company here outside of Miles Bridges. Screw Miles Bridges. I really hope that his NBA career flames out. But that's not the point here. The point is that a lineup of Brunson, Deuce McBride, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, and Karl-Anthony Towns this season in 72 minutes played have a 138.3 offensive rating, a 108.27 defensive rating with a 29.76 net rating, which is unbelievable. They have to use this lineup more. Something the Knicks have to do, and now that Mitchell Robinson's back, we might not see this as much, but something the New York Knicks have to do is they need to do whatever it takes to get this lineup out here, and one of those things is have Mikal Bridges be the first guy to get subbed out. That's what you have to do. For Deuce McBride, you swap them, and then Mikal comes back in at the end of the first and plays most of the second, and what he does then is he's the lead shot creator on the team, or at least is on the court with Karl-Anthony Towns as well, and not Jalen Brunson, so Mikal could work with the ball in his hands. That's when Mikal is best, when the Knicks just let him cook, when they let him work from the mid-range and get the flow of his offense going. Mikal Bridges is at his best. The Knicks need to stagger him with the bench unit more to help a weak bench unit, and also Mikal is just a more versatile scorer than Deuce, being that he's taller, being that he's got a better pull-up game from the mid-range, and also drives to the hoop a little better. And Deuce fits so well with this lineup. It just makes a ton of sense for the Knicks to try to figure out a way to just make things work here. And Tom Thibodeau is going to have to do that. And that's going to be, you have to just do more lineups with Deuce in for one of these guys, for Josh Hart or Mikal Bridges, just because the defense won't fall off losing one of them for Deuce. On top of that, it has helped the offense when you have Josh Hart who's hesitant to shoot threes. That kind of prevents the Knicks from having the 5 out they wanted. And when Mikal Bridges is going colder, just not getting his touches and is kind of not being an offensive factor because he's trying to find his place. And there's been moments where he's looked great and moments where he hasn't. Mikal's always been inconsistent. I don't know why people are acting like they didn't know this before. It's probably just because he's on the Knicks now. It's way more in their light. But Mikal's fine. I really think Mikal is getting so much overhate that he does not deserve this season. But we'll talk about that on a different video. What we do have to talk about is the fact that Deuce McBride is just the absolute man. The man can't be stopped right now. He's been an awesome player for the Knicks. And on top of that, as I mentioned, he's also good when replacing Josh Hart. Deuce McBride is one of the Knicks' biggest swing factors for the three-point percentage or for the three-point frequency, as it goes up 6.2% when he's on the floor, specifically when he subs out Josh Hart. Because then you have Deuce with Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Karl-Anthony Towns, and one of Brunson, Payne, or Tyler Kolek. It literally doesn't even matter. The Knicks will have a 24.8 plus net rating in the 92nd percentile for offensive rebounding. So they still have good rebounding even without Josh Hart. And the 100th percentile for defensive rebounding. The Knicks are still cooking even if they lose Josh Hart's rebounding for Deuce McBride. And the Knicks never experimented, not once, with the idea of playing Deuce McBride over Josh Hart in the starting lineup. Something that I really thought they would do at the beginning of the season, and they haven't done it once. They should just try it. Maybe the bench really just falls apart. Maybe not. But really, it'll just help the starting lineup, and then you could sub Mikal out for Josh Hart. The spacing goes away a little bit, but we know that Deuce in for Mikal, as we're seeing here, also works really well. It makes sense to do that, to start, at least try, starting Jalen Brunson, Deuce McBride, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Karl-Anthony Towns. Then you sub Josh Hart as your sixth man in for Mikal Bridges. You still have a greatly successful lineup, and then after that, you could, when you make more subs, you could sub Mikal back in and be your lead shot creator for the bench unit as well. That is a perfect world. I just hit my microphone. I got so excited. That is a perfect world, and I know everyone's hating on Tom Thibodeau right now, and Tibbs does deserve some flack for sure for the way he's coached this season. This is something that bothers me, that he hasn't tried this out. Try out the full 5-out lineup into starting 5. Just see what happens. With Mitchell Robinson back, it makes things harder right now, but I do want to know what you guys think, so let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day. Let's beat the Sixers tonight. We know we will. Go Knicks.